Good morning, Satnam. Last week, I'm just going to recap. Last week, we talked a little bit about the huge energetic connection between the navel chakra and, like architects use the word integrity of the building. Our integrity is connected to our building blocks, our body. And when we work on the navel through integrity, stepping into our power and work here on the mat, that creates not only a strong body, but integrity to take care of the body. It just makes sense. Like there's just, I mean, when you look at it that way, it's like pretty crystal clear, right? But we get all muffled. Now, this week, I have been talking to and trying to help all my one-on-one clients talk about this concept of loops. We all have them versus spirals. So a loop is something where a good example with a food one is where you're like, I'm not going to eat. I'm going to be really healthy. I'm going to stay away from sugar. I'm going to like just like stay really low on calories. Then all of a sudden you're like, I fucking really want a cookie. You have the cookie, then you black out and you just like basically binge until you feel like shit and so guilty. Then you start being super hard on yourself and you're so down and hard on yourself that you motivate yourself to not eat again and the loop continues. There's also like the stress, like you can't motivate yourself. You're sitting on the couch, you're absolutely tired, so that you procrastinate. Now there's a lot of pressure on to get the thing done. Boom, you're stressed out. The stress allows you to get a whole bunch of things done. You're in hyperfixation mode. Then all of a sudden you burn out and then you have to rest. But in the rest period, you can't get anything done so that you procrastinate or add stress or look for drama in your life so that you feel more stressed. What we want to do in Kundalini and in spirituality and as like sovereign beings is it's not that we don't come back. I'm in like a 4-year loop right now of something that is like I've been sharing, and the other side of it, I will share what is going on, but I'm being so confronted. I am coming in here and like crying a lot of rage, a lot of defeat. And on the other side of it is the transmutation of that. I'm no longer, not that I ever was like hiding from my feelings, but I'm really just trying to feel them and be with them and transmute them and then come back. Because there's something that's coming up in my life that could be a loop. I could get stuck in it. And I'm deciding instead, now that I'm back here, I'm going to evolve. So I'm not going to get stuck in the hamster wheel. I'm going to spiral out of it. I'm going to spiral and expand beyond. Now, what is for those two examples I just shared, there is a very, very strong correlation, or there's two of these things are the same. It's a chemical addiction. You are chemically addicted to the dopamine that the food releases or the cortisol and that the body releases. Your body does not know how to function, or there's something that you are getting out of it. Like dopamine is a reward center that creates a loop. Cortisol gives us energy and that creates a loop because we need it to do the thing. There's another aspect that I've been helping my clients uh, take a look. So those are really obvious examples, but there's a lot of other examples of loops that we play out in our lives. And one of the things that, when I said you kind of black out and you do the thing, it's very unconscious, subconscious. Yeah, you've got yourself to that loop and where you do the thing, but oftentimes it's a nervous system response of fight or flight and or freeze. Sorry, freeze or flight. We're not fighting usually. It's freeze, like you are literally freezing, you leave your body and you do the thing, or you flight, you like same thing, you leave the body. Freeze or flight. Why do you think you would do those two things? Just think about it for a sec. Because you don't feel safe. You don't feel safe. You're not in full feminine surrender and trust. There's a part of you that is in the shadow aspect of the feminine that is trying to control, that is trying to hustle, overcome all the things like push, we're not in our divine feminine. And that's like when we talk about bring the shadow to the light, transmute the shadow into the light, raise the energy. Again, it's kind of simple. Yet it's not. It's very complex when we're in the moment. The felt human experience of this is extremely trying because at the same time, too, I don't know, put your hand up. If you ever struggle with like, okay, I want to be in a pity party. I want to really just allow myself to be like, this isn't working. This is hard. My life is shit. Like you just, and those things might not be true, but put your hand up if it just like it feels like you need to do that, or else you're just spiritually bypassing yourself or gaslighting yourself. Anyone? Okay, everyone put their hand up. It's like so hard because I'm like, if I'm in this space of like my pity party of myself, then am I calling in more bad things? Like, am I not holding the vibration of gratitude? Is the universe going to give me any more if it thinks that I can't handle what I already have? I get freaked out and I'm like, don't feel like this. So just get back into the light, courage. Okay, money, prosperity. And just like it, like kind of like don't be there. And this evolution, this loop that I'm in, like I said, I think it's because I've been doing a lot of work with John Wineland and embodiment work. I was working with Sarah, working with Jolie. Now I'm working with Courtney. I have like a whole team of support right now. Throwing money at the coaching world. I'm supporting my industry. I am learning how, in that dark night of the soul, it's just part of the loop, right? And it's okay to be there and it's okay to feel the hardship of like, why me? How is this happening? What did I do wrong? Is there something wrong with me? Like, nobody likes me. I can't do this. Like all the things that come up, you're not affirming that to the universe. You're just in the moment and you have to work it through your body. You can't just let it be a head thing because then it gets lost somewhere in the body and it will be triggered. Just work it out. And that's where embodiment, like I come in here and I take all these pillows and just start throwing them around and I get really angry and then I feel better. I feel so much better afterwards. So, where is this all going? This is the end. We've been here in Kundalini now for 3 or 4 weeks, and I've been doing glandular sets. So, again, back to it being a chemical, oftentimes, even with the safety piece. So, it's oftentimes a chemical addiction to adrenaline junkies. Or, okay, what about when couples and they're in a really good place, but all of a sudden they start getting at each other because the only way they feel intimacy is when they're fighting because that creates that chemical like I feel you, you know? And so that's another loop. Like they don't know how to actually just sit and love each other without the spark of a fight. So there's lots of chemical addictions to why we self-sabotage, to why we stay stuck in our hamster. And that's why glandular sets in Kundalini yoga give us the ability to take a fucking pause. Choose. Consciously, sovereignly choose. I'm going to feel this feeling, but not react the same way. I'm not going to hide. I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to self-sabotage. I'm going to feel this feeling, which is fucking scary. It takes a lot of bravery to sit in the feeling of not enoughness for a moment. Let it go through you and then come out. I am abundance. I am worthy of everything I desire. These dreams of mine are mine because they're meant for me. Okay? So we're doing a last of the glandular set. I know Karen's very familiar with it. Many of you have done it with me before. Let's go ahead and bring our palms together. So that is the intention. Let's work on ourselves. Let's create the ability to evolve instead of loop. Sat Nam. Oh, Sat Nam.